vision in society. She urged the new team to uphold integrity and work towards enhancing peaceful coexistence among all Kenyans. The National Cohesion and Integration Commission plays a key role in promoting peace, fighting hate speech, and enhancing harmony among communities across the country.
No office, no party, and no ambition is worth the blood of a Kenyan. I call upon all Kenyans, government bodies, interreligious civil society, and every citizen to work with us. Peace building is a deliberate and dynamic process that calls for consistent and collaborative efforts. Cohesion begins with our utterances, our actions, and our values. It calls for us to transform our diversity from a source of division into a fountain of strength. To strengthen Ncic to effectively achieve its mandate, I appeal to Parliament to fast-track the enactment of the Ncic Act 2026 and align it with the Constitution. I also commend the judiciary for establishing special courts to address hate speech and encourage deeper collaboration through a multi-agency approach. As we approach the 2027 general elections, I call upon political leaders of all formations and all citizens to exercise restraint, uphold the rule of law, and reject utterances that divide. Freedom of expression must never become a weapon against our unity. Let us remember that we have a beautiful country, ladies and gentlemen, and this country is called Kenya, and we must guard it with our all. Hii Kenya ni yetu sisi.
Now, 2 young men were shot dead by police officers in Busia following a violent clash between the jobless group and law enforcement. The victims from Marachi in Busia County had been participating in demonstrations demanding the release of a youth leader who was arrested for allegedly damaging a police vehicle, leading to the fatal shootings. Authorities are investigating the incident.
Ametoka tu kwa nyumba jioni akipita hivi. Dakika kidogo wananipigia simu ati ni kama tunaona mtu. Kufika vile nilikuwa nakuja nilijua amekufa tayari. Juu kulingana na vile nilielezwa ni kama ameaga. Kufika naambiwa like bado anapumua. Lakini kulingana na mwili yangu hadi niliambia mabeshte wangu sijui chenye inanifanya. Nilikuwa nasikia vibaya sana.
Sisi tulikuwa tumeenda town kwa harakati ya kutoa Chikuze, kwa sababu Chikuze pia alikuwa kwa process ya kutoa ndugu yetu ambaye anaitwa Joseph. Na kulingana na procedure za police station hatungeenda watu wengi kwa sababu ile ubina mnajua police station yetu ni ndogo. So tukatuma viongozi wetu wachache waende washughulikie maneno. Baadaye mambo ikarudi ya kwamba Chikuze ameshikwa. So hii Chikuze bado viongozi wakaenda kuintervene. Na wakati ya intervention iko kinyozi moja ilikuwa imevamiwa na machokora ya town. Na hiyo kinyozi bado ni ndugu yetu tu. So kwenda kwa hiyo rescue, kumbe askari walikuwa prepared tayari wakishika Chikuze juu tulipata wamevaa helmets, wamevaa boots, wako ready for war. Na wakaanza kufire live bullets.
Alipofika pale, hakuongelesha na wale polisi. Alisikia risasi ya kwanza, akatoka mbio kurudi nyumbani. Kurudi nyumbani, akapigwa risasi kutoka nyuma. Side ya chest, side ya heart. On the left side of the heart, from behind. Akapigwa hapo risasi, akaanguka kujua apigwa risasi. Unfortunately, akasakamba.
Usiringe juko kwa power. Power iko na mwisho. Power huwa inaisha. Na power ikiisha, wewe pia wakufanyie hivi. Kama utakubali wakufanyie hivi, wakati uko kwa power umefanya vingine na wakati hauko kwa power utakubali.
Well, a 20-year-old man, Robert Simiyu from Kahawa Lumukile village in Tongaran constituency has died after a tree he was cutting fell on him. The body was removed by police from Bakalo. He was described by the community as a good boy. The village mourns the loss of Robert Simiyu.
Tumepoteza mtoto mzuri, hata leo asubuhi tumekuwa na Robert tukakunywa na yeye chai. Akasema leo siendi kazi. Nikasema kama umekataa kwenda kazi, kaa tu Robert. Nikamwambia ndio niletee chakula ya ng'ombe. Akasema kuhu niliuza chakula hakuna.
Kweli Robert amekuwa mtoto mzuri, hachakuwa mtoto mtukutu kwa kijiji. Alikuwa anajitafutia diposa anapata sabuni. Mungu wa amani aweke roho ya Robert mahali pema pa watakatifu.
Miti ya kienyeji wazee wa zamani walikuwa wanaiambia maneno fulani wakipanda. Sasa si vyema kukatakata miti ya kienyeji ovyo.
Hii ni kifo ambayo imekuja kwa ghafla, kwa hivyo tusiweze kulaumiana kwamba ingekuwa hivi, hapana.
Mimi natoa tahadhari kwa wale wote ambao wanajaribu kupanda kwenye miti mirefu. Wachukue tahadhari wanapokata ili
Well, moving on, President William Ruto has begun his historic 2-day state visit to Kazakhstan, welcomed with a grand ceremony at the Astan Palace of Independence by President Kasim-Jomart. During the visit, Kazakhstan announced it will open an embassy in Nairobi, while President Ruto highlighted the country's potential as a logistical hub and gateway for Kenyan agricultural exports. The two leaders are also signing agreements to expand cooperation in finance, ICT, renewable energy, tourism, and education, making a significant step in enhancing diplomatic and economic ties between the two nations. And elsewhere, some ward representatives in the Narok County Assembly exchanged slaps and hurdles punches during a debate on the motion to impeach Finance Minister David Ole Mtet. Security officers intervened and removed Speaker David Ole Dikir from the chamber. Mnet faces allegations of misappropriation of public funds.
The coalition of the majority party, Kenya Kwanza Coalition, held a special sitting on 15th May 2026 at KCB Leadership Center, Nairobi, and unanimously resolved to effect the new leadership and changes by removing from office through vote deputy leader of majority party, Honorable Secretary Sam, replacing him with
Today I received a proposal from members of both coalition, majority and minority side, on the changes of leadership. And as I was doing the communication, there was fracas of members. And I wouldn't advise further more than that. Members will address the issues that they had, but that is what was happening in the House today. After receiving this will be stopped by the party membership having their discussion away from the assembly, because my role as a speaker, if you bring a communication by the majority members, that is what I will do. Next is the county assembly business will continue. I allow the majority leader and the members to address.
Our bland impeachment of ZC for finance, Mr. Muntet. Of course, we have been given that mandate by the Constitution and of course relevant acts to conduct oversight. But because of intimidation and sort of coercion, some systems don't want to see that we fight corruption here in our county. Of course, what we are saying as members, the few elite members, we are somehow, it's a small number, but it's actually effective one, and we don't require more because we can do with this team.
Systematic corruption, conflict of interest in procurement processes, and concerns surrounding public revenue.
Now, vehicle owners in Kisii town continue to face low passenger numbers even as the transport strike ended. Many operators increased the fares slightly to cover costs, but commuters are avoiding buses due to the higher prices. The situation leaves transport providers struggling to maintain services while keeping travel affordable for passengers.
Maabiria hakuna. Tumehangaika kwa stage kutoka asubuhi saa 4 Tumefika hapa hakuna abiria. Gari yenye naenda ruti ya pili ndio inaenda kumanga saa hii. Sasa hakuna mahali nyingine itaenda kwa sababu hakuna abiria. Juu ya hiyo mafuta.
Sasa tungemuomba atupunguzie mafuta. Maana kila kitu kimepanda. Tafadhali rais, tunakuomba. Hii sio Singapore yenye ulisema tunaenda. Hii unatupeleka babaya.
Jana nimechelewa nikakuja nikahangaika hapa town, nikatoka tena nikarudi kwenda nikalala tu hapa town. Leo pia nimeamka asubuhi, tangia asubuhi mpaka sasa hivi. Sasa sijui nitafika aje nyumbani, watoto nimeacha wenyewe. Sijui nitafika aje nyumbani jamani. Naomba tu mtusaidie. Simshushe hii mafuta jamani. Mbona mmetuhangaisha sana?
Now, to matters health officers in Kwale County have now entered the 7th day of the ongoing strike. The officers are pressing the county government to address 6 critical demands before they resume work. Among key demands are long-awaited promotions and adjustments to salaries. The strike has disrupted healthcare delivery across the county, affecting patients and medical services. Negotiations between the county government and the striking officers continue, with both sides under pressure to reach a resolution and restore essential health services.
We want clinical officers to be employed so that we can meet the standards and norms of the officers required per facility, so that we can avoid overworking of our officers, burnout and all that. And therefore we are saying the county must be able to recruit. Actually the number we need is about 66 clinical officers employed, and right now the county is telling us that they can only employ about 10.
Wasisi clinical officers, hiyo document haijakuwa adopted, haijakuwa implemented, ambapo sasa hatuko radhi kurudi kazi mpaka hiyo document ikuwe adopted vizuri, ikuwe implemented, ili tusaidie kwa promotion, kwa redesignation. Mtu ameenda shule, yeye amefanya anesthesia, lakini hapa hajatambulika vizuri, hapati ile allowance yake kama anesthetist. Lakini ukifuata pale kwa career guideline inapatiana mwongozo mzuri.
Hatusemi hivi ndio ionekane kwamba ni masuala ya kisiasa. La hasha, sisi ni maafisa na sisi ni wafanyikazi wa serikali. Lakini tunataka serikali iwajibike. Iwajibike, waangalie kama wanasema kwamba masuala ya afya ndicho kipaumbele kwao.
And public health officers in Nairobi are accusing the County Public Service Board of hiring unqualified staff for food safety and medical certification services. The officers are threatening industrial action if the matter is not addressed. They claim that deploying unqualified officers goes against the Public Health Act and the Public Health Officers and Technicians Council Act. The union warns that weak oversight of food and water safety could increase the risk of diseases outbreak in the city. They are demanding the immediate deployment of legally qualified officers to ensure proper public health monitoring.
Section 30, it prohibits anyone who is not a registered public health officer or a licensed public health officer to be able to be in charge of a sensitive docket like the food handling a docket at City Hall. We do not want to see people and PHOs manning public health programs. We want them to be removed with immediate effect.
Whatever that is happening whereby the Nairobi City County entered into a contractual agreement whereby private laboratories are testing, they are even issuing food under certificates with an extension even to 9 to 12 months.
During World Hypertension Day celebrations, Bungoma County Chief Health Officer David Balinda emphasized that high blood pressure, along with other non-communicable diseases, can affect even children. He urged the public to take preventive measures, particularly by maintaining a healthy diet.
Hypertension is a silent killer because many people may have high blood pressure without knowing it. And our message today is simple. You need to know your numbers. Check your blood pressure regularly.
People should be having physical exercises. For us as technocrats, we say aerobic exercise, whereby we can strengthen your heart, we can strengthen your lungs, we can strengthen other body parts so that you are able to prevent getting stroke and such like
And communities along the Kenya-Somali border in Kiunga and Raskaboni have been urged to work together to maintain peace and unity and create a safer and stronger environment for everyone. Mombasa Deputy Governor has said good relationships between neighbors help prevent crime and enhance safety. He added that community meetings and joint activities promote trust and cooperation.
Sisi tumekuja zaidi, lengo hapa ni kuleta uwiano na kuonyesha ulimwengu mzima kwamba hizi jamii mbili ambao ziko mpaka hapa ya Kenya na Somalia, eneo hili ni jamii zinapendana, ni jamii zinaishi kwa amani na zitaendelea kuishi kwa amani insha Allah.
Tunajaribu kupigana na itikadi kali, tunajaribu kupigana na madawa ya kulevya. Najua Kemboni hakuna hizo siku, lakini lazima paka niwatajie ndio tujue vile tutahifadhi vijana wetu.
Naendelea kuinteract in many activities because we say peace peke yake haikuji through the gun peke yake. Kuna many factors, peace and security.
So here we are the southernmost part of Somalia and also the southernmost part of Jubaland. A few weeks ago I was in Mandera, which is actually
Well, in business news, Equity Group Holdings PLC has reported a 24% increase in profit after tax, reaching 19.1 billion. This reflects the success of its transformation into a resilient technology-led Pan-African financial services group. According to the CEO, the balance sheet grew 16% to 2.04 trillion, supported by a 13% rise in customer deposits and 9% growth in net loans. These results signal sustained customer confidence and strong economic activity across markets it serves.
Deposits growth, which have grown by 13% from 1.3 trillion. Our shareholders' funds have increased by 30% from 265 billion to 244 billion shillings, and that 25% of that 344 billion. And we could see the curve on digital channels moving from a high of 89.4 to 83 as people got back to agents, to branches. But look at where we are now.
The Kenya Revenue Authority (KRA) is intensifying its fight against illicit trade and smuggling. These illegal networks undermine tax compliance, harm legitimate businesses, and distort fair competition across the economy. To tackle this, KRA is boosting intelligence, gathering enforcement operations, and collaboration with other agencies at key border points. The goal is to detect, disrupt, and prosecute offenders, safeguarding revenue collection and maintaining the integrity of Kenya's tax system.
We have a footprint across the border points across the country, where part of the work that we do is collect intelligence on who are the perpetrators of these illicit trade schemes, those who are smuggling in goods and creating an unfair environment for people doing legitimate business. As the KRA Investigations and Enforcement Department, we are using this initiative to actually raise the compliance levels by dealing with those who are engaged in.
And Kenya is changing the way it finances major infrastructure projects by focusing on private investment and pension funds instead of heavy government borrowing. The government is developing market-based financing instruments to support road, energy, water, and long-term projects. Kenya's pension sector, managing over 2.8 trillion shillings in assets, is expected to play a significant role in funding these initiatives while providing returns to contributors.
Structure, when accessed through well-structured, professionally managed, and transparent instruments such as what SAFE is offering offers exactly the characteristics that long-term investors seek, which is stable cash flows, inflation protection, and diversification.
Spearhead Africa Infrastructure Fund, SAFE in short, it's not an accident. It's a result of deliberate market building. And as Gatia, the CEO, will attest, he's been at it for longer than 5 years.
We have raised 3.43 billion shillings for our first series. We are looking to deploy this capital over the next 3 months, and then we come back to the market, raise some more money. In the past, these infrastructure developers have been unable to finance their projects in Kenya shillings.
Shelter Africa Development Bank and the International Finance Corporation have signed an agreement to work together on affordable housing and urban development in Africa. The partnership will help increase funding for housing projects and attract private investment for sustainable housing initiatives across the continent. The agreement also creates a framework for ongoing cooperation between the two institutions, supporting inclusive growth and improved urban infrastructure. This collaboration marks a key step towards making housing more accessible and enhancing cities across Africa. And that's all we have for today. EBN News at 1 p.m. Many thanks for watching. I'm Leticia Afandi. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.